Okay, so we already talked about how to make one pinch pot, and we had saved the other half of our clay. And so I went ahead and made one other pinch pot using the same method that I done the first time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join these two pinch pots, and I'm going to make basically a hollow shape or a hollow sphere or egg shape or whatever kind of shape I actually want. So to do that, we need to remember that when we're joining things together, the best way to do those things is to use the slip and score method. So you should have a fettling knife at your table, although remember, you don't need to use a fettling knife. Literally anything that will make a mark will do. You could use a fork, you could use your pencil, you could use one of the wooden tools, you could use, I've been lazy, I've used my fingernails before if they've been long enough. Right now they definitely are not. Literally anything that will make a mark in the clay will do this. A pen, anything. So, but a fettling knife is nice just because they're fast. So I'm literally just going to make some lines and try to keep this in the camera. And what the fettling or what the scoring is, and sometimes people ask like what this actually does, is these little lines that we're making. We are increasing the surface area. So literally we're like increasing all these little valleys where the slip is going to go into. So slip is going to give us all these little grooves that the slip can go into and make a really good join. And you do want to do it to both pieces, so don't just do one. I'm just going to do this real fast. And you want to make it deep enough to count, but don't make it like ridiculously deep because you don't want to destroy your piece either. Okay, so both of those. And then I have some slip here, and you should have some slip at your table. And it should be like a paste-like consistency. If it's too like liquidy, you know, it's not going to do very much. And if it's too thick, you know, that's not optimal either, but you know, kind of like paste. And if you don't like it on your hands, you can put it on the fettling knife or whatever. I don't really mind it. I'm an art teacher. And you just want to dab it on. Okay, you don't want to smooth it into those pieces or those ridges that we just made, otherwise why make them in the first place? So just let them kind of sit there and squish it on. Okay, just like that. I do it to the other piece too. Not a ridiculous amount, but not, you know, like barely any. And then wipe off your finger on the side. Okay, now I'm going to take my two pieces and I am going to firmly but gently press them together. And it's okay if some of that oozes out the side. That's actually kind of a good thing. So a little oozing, that's good. And I usually just wipe it off and then I like to give my piece a little wiggle, a little gentle wiggle, because to me that's kind of like getting those little grooves to like fit together like that. Okay, so right now we kind of have an egg shape. So that looks pretty good. Now, I am going to take my finger and I am going to basically press or smooth out the seam. So you should have a little extra clay going one way or the other. So either I'm going to push that little extra clay down, or depending on kind of where the extra clay ended up, I'm going to go up. And so I tend to kind of switch directions depending on where it needs to be. And I'm not going to worry about making it look perfect at all. We don't care about that. Sorry if I keep going off the screen. But it's not too bad. And if a little seam isn't behaving for you because your clay is brand new, you can wait till it gets a little firmer and smooth out any of those last grumpy areas, but mine looks pretty good. So mine is pretty much an egg shape right now. And if you know that you're gonna need a rounder shape, clay is pretty cool. And you can tell it that you want it to be rounder, okay? And the best way to do that is basically to pat it into place. So if I say, hey, I need you to be a circle, what I'm gonna do is hold it gently in one hand and kind of just spank it into the shape that I want it to be. And see how it's starting to get rounder on that side? And then I'll kind of put the other side here and say, hey, you need to get rounded too. Come over here and gently shape it into the shape that I want it to be. And now I have a sphere. Or if I say, no, that's not what I want. I need more of a cone shape. Then I'm going to gently maybe kind of form it in one hand. So I'm kind of just kind of cupping, trying to get like a little bit of a end here, maybe roll it a little bit just on one end. Notice I don't really use the table that much. I do most of the stuff in my hands. I think it's more receptive that way. See, it starts to get more of that shape. So clay will do what you tell it to do if you're gentle enough. So if you need more of that ice cream cone look or something, or a teardrop or something like that, it will go into the shape that you want. Kind of cool. And it's all the way hollow on the inside. All right. Now, my next video, I will show you how to piece things together to make the shape that you want, or the body that you want, or the sculpture that you want, and how to start constructing things to be an actual object. Okay.